Welcome to this episode of Conspiracy Cast right here on Tales of Earth. If you're on this Earth, then on another Earth, it is an episode of Tales of Earth on Conspiracy Cast channel.
Well, that was confusing.
Anyway.
I didn't follow that, I'll be honest.
A show where we sit down, we three non-experts, although we're getting there.
I like to think that
there.
we are experts in cryptozoology. I believe we're cryptozoologists.
Well, you can just claim to be a cryptozoologist.
That's exactly why we are
and you are one.
Well, I am an
Yeah.
expert. You guys are expert adjacent.
What does that
Okay.
mean?
You're just to
Expert
the left
by
of being
association?
of an expert. Yeah. You
All
guys
right,
are
I'll take
so
it.
close.
I'll take it.
This is where we discuss a conspiracy of some kind. Then we decide whether or not we believe it and why, or why not. We do this live on twitch.tv/comicstorian. I should really change this in my notes. Every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern. You can support us by subscribing to the channel. You can also find some Tales of Earth merch through the link below. You can also support us by going to patreon.com/comicstorian, where you can get early access to this show as well as other shows. Like our show Tales of Earth on Conspiracy Cast.
I won't lie, I do find it funny how almost every week you mess up the intro, despite always having it written down
Literally in front of you.
I know. It's a problem. I have a problem. So, yes, actually, I pretend. I have my wife read it to me over and over and over again.
Sense.
I'm like,
Yeah,
okay. I need to impress them. I need them to think I can read. So most people fall into three camps. All right. Those who want to know who really rules the world, those who really don't care who rules the world, and those who really secretly want to rule the world.
I'm in the fourth camp.
Okay.
What's the fourth camp?
I secretly rule the world.
Oh, bravo.
Nice.
Bravo.
Yeah,
That was nice. So this is almost like, I can imagine this being like, have you guys heard of the Enneagram personality test? So it's basically a personality test that assigns you a number.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
they do that.
You're a
Birthday
1,
night.
2, 3, or 4, or 5. Yeah, whatever. I think they should do this with like conspiracy theories. So like, what kind of conspiracy theorist are you?
I see. Okay.
Like a 1 is a hollow earther. A 2 is a flat
so it's
earther.
just a series of questions.
Yeah,
after that,
yeah.
it gives you a kind of conspiracy
Exactly.
theorist.
Yeah.
You are this kind
You
of
are this kind.
conspiracist.
Yeah. You are the red twine on the corkboard
I
conspiracy.
see,
You're a
yeah.
number. You're a 9.
Yeah.
You should
Not
avoid
a 10.
you should avoid 2s and 3s. Also, you're very compatible with 5s.
Good to know.
Yeah. So I think that should be a thing. The Enneagram for conspiracy theorists.
We'll make it. Somebody make it.
All right,
Yeah,
I
we'll
like
make
it.
it.
I like it.
All right. So before we jump into this, besides the Illuminati, who do you think truly rules
And
the
the
world?
Freemasons.
And the Freemasons. Well, the Freemasons are like a subgroup of the Illuminati.
I
They're
figured
Illuminati
They're like
adjacent.
yes, they're Illuminati adjacent.
They're Illuminati
Yes.
by association.
Who's Jason?
Exactly.
What?
Took a weird
Illuminati adjacent. All right.
who
Yeah.
do we
So who
think?
do you think actually rules the world? Like in reality, if you could choose a company, people,
I see. Okay.
who rules the world?
I would. Well, I
Besides
wouldn't say
Dan.
one company. I would say. I
Okay.
mean, corporations at this point.
Sure, yeah.
Kind of run the world.
They do.
Yeah,
I mean,
because let's be honest,
realistically,
you
yeah.
can
Like-
say one company,
Right.
and when it comes down to it, that's actually 50 different
Yeah.
It
brands
is.
and
It
stuff
is.
like that.
You know, where'd you buy that? Amazon. How'd you get to Amazon? I used a Google search engine.
That's
Yeah.
You know, it's like
yeah. I mean, at this point.
How'd you find
Yeah.
Google? I opened up my web browser,
which
and
is
it was there.
Chrome. Oh no.
Well, actually, you use Microsoft Edge for the sole purpose of downloading either Firefox
Yeah, I
or
know.
Google Chrome.
I use Edge for doing a lot of conspiracy research because I found that certain articles pop up on Microsoft Edge or Bing that don't come up through Google.
Fun fact about that, Bing is more efficient when it comes to image searching, and Google's more efficient when it comes to, or more effective, I guess I should
Yes.
say, at finding actual links to websites.
Really?
Interesting.
If you
did not know that.
if you search images on Bing, you are more likely to find the image you are searching for than if you checked Google Images. Mm-hmm. The more you know.
The more you know. Yeah. So who do you think actually rules the world?
I mean, that would be. I would say at this point. Honestly, I feel like we're very much heading into the realm of science fictions with the future run by mega corporations.
Yeah.
Just like a handful.
Just like a few of them that own pretty much everything.
Yep.
Disney,
Yep.
Google, Amazon, all
Right,
that.
yeah.
It's at this point.
Or
Which is
ABC,
pretty-
Alphabet. Isn't
Alphabet.
that
It's
what
Alphabet.
Google
Well,
is?
they actually started Alphabet as the parent company. So
Yeah.
it was just Google. And they were like, yeah, well, we should have a company that runs everything else.
Right,
So they
right.
just started Alphabet. I think that was 2015.
I don't know.
That was a few years ago.
Yeah.
But, that would be
yeah.
my guess.
Okay.
I feel like we are very quickly heading in that direction.
I think so too. So it's very much like a Wall-E, like by and large
Kinda,
type
yeah.
situation,
Yeah.
or the Idiocracy, like welcome to Costco.
on TV the other night. Anyway,
Yeah, it's such a good movie. I love that movie. So okay, what are some other examples? Like who do you think really like pulls the strings in the world? Strangely enough, one of them that I found, and we'll get into it later, is a company like Nestle.
Mm-hmm.
Nestle pretty much runs half the food industry.
Oh yeah.
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 I think actually they make this water.
You know,
Probably.
I would
Probably.
not be surprised, actually, considering this is a conspiracy,
Yes.
Yes.
if it was actually a group of people that you would never expect. Not
probably
anyone
is.
that's truly publicly associated with any
Well,
corporation.
that honestly is probably what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all the people that you almost have no information about, which allows them to do things that public figures could not do because
Right.
they're under the public eye.
Well, I mean, that boils down to the same thing of like the Bilderberg meeting, where it's like, okay, I'm not going to have a giant.
No.
Right.
It's not a
No,
secret
yeah.
meeting when the entire internet knows about
yeah.
it.
Yeah, when you have a website
Yeah,
that says
exactly.
where you're
Yeah,
meeting,
yeah.
what's on the docket.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's probably whoever's hypothetically behind the corporation.
Right.
You know, not the CEO. You can't look
Yeah.
it up, but
Yeah.
Right.
It would be like the advisor that
Yeah,
you
yeah,
never
yeah,
hear
yeah.
about.
Right.
the
Yeah.
shadowy CEO.
So like the worm
Sith
tongue of
Lord.
the situation, basically.
No? Wait, what?
So the worm tongue of the situation. The
Yeah,
person who's
yeah,
actually
yeah,
like
yeah.
feeding the
Yeah.
yeah. So I would love to see that like the person who actually rules the world is like this really nice little old lady named Mabel. You know, but she's not actually a really nice little old lady.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how she got there. She just plays that role.
She's like
Mom.
she's
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
mobster,
yeah.
but she looks like the sweet old lady.
Yeah,
and it turns
yeah.
out she's got a shotgun under the table, kind of thing. Yeah.
at all times.
yeah.
At all.
Yes. How do you think she brokers every deal? It's like, how, what,
Would you like some cookies?
or a shell? Yeah.
They eat it.
Yeah.
This is the detonator to the cookies.
That would be genius.
Yes, it would. Because who can turn down a cookie from an old
Exactly.
Right. I could turn it down, but that's only because I'm a pompous gluten-free.
What if
That
they
is
said
true.
it was
Yeah.
a gluten-free cookie?
Oh, I'd be all over
Then
that.
you would be like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Can
let
I
me
eat all of
scarf
them?
this thing.
Can I eat all of them? All the no, not all. Oh,
Can I have
which
the
remote
C4
is
after
it?
these
Yeah,
good
kinda,
do?
yeah. Gary, how do you know what C4 tastes like?
It's a weird thing to say, Gary.
Yeah. I thought it was Play-Doh.
Wait, Gary, what?
What? So there are a lot of factors that go into determining who actually rules the world, like realistically, who essentially rules the world. Financial wealth, political pull, and just industry. Like what industry are you in? What kind of influence do you have? Which may not fall under wealth or political pull. So I decided to look up some of the richest people in the world, and we'll just go through some of these highlights. Some of these people that we've never heard of. So in terms of wealth, we have Ma Huateng from China, chairman of Tencent Holdings, worth $38.8 billion.
That's it?
What I also discovered in this research was that China actually, within its borders, holds some of the most powerful corporations in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yep.
I mean, pretty much
Far more
everything's
wealthy.
made in China.
Made in China. Yeah, I mean the Chinese bank, the Bank of China,
Yep,
is one of the most powerful bank in the world.
Right. I mean, the whole made in China is actually a big one for ruling the world, even if you don't have influence in other parts of the world, because it becomes you forgot how to make it.
Pretty much.
Or you can't
Yeah.
make it as
Well, there
efficiently
was-
as us. We can
Yeah.
we essentially control the world by controlling everything.
Yep.
I mean,
mean-
so having worked in several other countries, like the Bank of China is everywhere.
Oh, I bet.
Everywhere.
Oh, I'm sure.
And they're constantly developing things, and and then that moves in, the Chinese workers and things like that,
Right.
like all over the place.
Yeah. This next one is Steve Ballmer, former CEO of Microsoft, current owner of the Los Angeles Clippers, because that's what you do when you.
I mean,
Oh,
no
yeah.
longer.
Yeah. Why not? Yeah.
Why not? It's like, honey, I think I'm gonna buy something today. I just want to splurge.
I just want
to splurge. I'm gonna buy a professional sports team. Yeah, just buy them.
There are people that do that smart, like Shaquille O'Neal,
Yeah.
who bought Wheaties, I believe.
Oh, did he?
He also owns
wonder he's always on the
General
box.
Auto Insurance.
Oh, okay.
That's why he's in all the commercials. He knows
okay.
those.
I
I
always
think-
wondered how this like company always could manage
Yes.
to pay to have.
He
on there.
owns it.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
owns it. He owns
Okay.
both of those. And there's one other, I want to say,
What a
fast food
scam.
restaurant that he owned. Like, that's why you don't really see him in much,
Right.
because he
He's running
just simply
businesses.
bought these businesses
Yes.
that run
Yeah, I mean,
themselves
why
for the
not?
most
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
And
I mean, if you want to run a scam, insurance company,
that
take people's money
yeah,
and
is
fight tooth and nail to never give it
I
back.
was gonna say insurance is a giant scam, but that's
Oh, it
beside the
is.
point.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
keep going.
Number 18, Rob Walton, chairman of Walmart. Net worth $44.3 billion. Also, this list comes from CBS News. So
I
Walmart,
assume it's
Walmart
in ascending
is,
order.
Yes.
Okay.
So Walmart is actually the world's largest retailer, flat out.
Yeah.
When you look at their square footage of their stores, number of stores, online
Sure,
availability, the number of companies they own, Walmart is up there. And again, from Walmart, Alice Walton, Walmart heiress and chair, $44.4 billion. So it's nice to be in the Walton family. Jim Walton, Walmart, heir, chairman, and CEO.
I think this right here is kind of
44.
speaking to who rules.
Oh,
the
yes.
world.
Now Walmart secretly
Walmart.
runs the world.
Yeah.
Net worth $44.6 billion. We're just going to blast through this list. Francois,
Another Walton.
yeah, another Walton. Francois Betancourt Myers and family from France, chairwoman of L'Oreal Holdings and granddaughter of L'Oreal's founder. Net worth $49.3 billion. I think that's actually up to like 51 now.
I won't lie. When I hear of people that are this rich, I genuinely wonder how much they spend.
Like daily.
Yeah, like
Probably
just
not
on a
much.
daily basis, and like what makes a lot of these people go, I need to make sure I'm saving all of this. When it's like, at what point, what is saving that excessive amount of money
Right,
really getting
right.
you?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of it also comes down to if they're a good CEO,
Yep.
they're saving that money just in case things go bottom up.
Oh, well,
And they need to,
that's
they need to
basically
save their
under the
they need to
assumption
save the
that
company,
they
save the
need-
employees. Yeah,
They care about the company.
Well, and a lot
'Cause
there's this.
sadly,
Well,
there are
yes.
some that are like, I don't care.
Enron.
I got 44 billion.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Enron, for example, huge scam. But
Yeah.
no, there is this assumption that if you're a billionaire CEO, you just don't care about anything. And I don't think that's necessarily always true. Like just because you're rich doesn't mean you don't care. Now there was a study done that power equals like a numbness to people's suffering. Basically, the more powerful you are, the less empathy you have for people.
I can see that.
And it's a natural human response, and it happens to everyone. So, and a lot of that actually comes down to responsibility. If you carried the weight of every single person under your care,
Sure, yeah.
you wouldn't. I mean, you'd fall apart. You can't care that much.
Yeah.
Like there's a point at which you have so much power, so much responsibility. You kind of have to separate yourself in some regards from what's going on. Now, some people take it too far, but anyway. The next one is Sergey Brin, president of Alphabet,
AKA
$49.8
Google.
billion. Mukesh Ambani from India, chairman of Reliance Industries, net worth $50 billion. There are a lot of billionaires in the world. David Koch, co-majority. That's right.
Coke.
Yeah, Coke. No, you're right. Yeah, Coke. Co-majority shareholder of Coke Industries, $50.5 billion. Charles Koch, CEO of Coke Industries, $50.5 billion.
When was this article written?
A couple of years ago.
Okay, because I think one of the Koch brothers died recently.
Well,
Really?
that one was
I didn't
83,
hear that.
so-
Yeah, probably.
I think.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I think I saw something online about
Right.
one of the Koch brothers
Okay.
passing away.
Yeah. So, and the assumption here is that their net worth has probably gone up.
Sure, yeah.
Like the heiress of L'Oreal. So Larry Page, Alphabet, $50.8 billion. Michael Bloomberg, co-founder of Bloomberg, $55.5 billion. Mark Zuckerberg, $62.3 billion.
34. That's
At third, at
He's the
34.
youngest billionaire. Actually, no,
I'm
I
worth
don't.
like $34. Just flat.
Your
30.
net
just,
worth,
Just,
yeah,
my net worth at this point is
$34.
like, I think I got like 16
Yeah.
bucks in my pocket.
Which is
not bad.
16 days' wages for some people in most of the world.
That's true.
Yeah.
See? So there you go. I'm
So
doing
yeah,
pretty quite
well,
well.
And
wealth
for
is
other
relative
people, it's also
to,
half
yeah.
a second.
That's true.
Yeah. Or,
Not even that. It's like 0.0000001 seconds.
so what are you doing? Watching myself get richer.
I saw something.
It is awesome.
I remember someone did it where it's if Bill Gates saw $100 bill on the ground,
It's not even worth his time to pick it up.
if he leant down
Yeah.
to pick it up, he would lose money compared to like if he stopped what he was doing with work.
Knowing Bill Gates, he'd pick it up and give it to somebody else.
Oh yeah.
That's like finding a penny.
Not even.
Yeah,
I hate
not even a
penny.
penny. Yeah. Oh, look, quarter of a penny, I think. I think it's a penny. Hey, do you want this?
Do they even
It's like,
still make this?
It's like Family Guy where they're like, okay, who's got a quarter? What's a quarter?
Larry Ellison, co-founder of Oracle, $62.5 billion for those of you who may not know.
He totally does.
He does look like a Bond villain.
Yeah.
Actually,
He
yeah,
looks
now that you
like,
say it, that's all I can see.
That's all I
yeah.
can see.
Crap, he looks like a villain that was
From James Bond.
that's
I
been
literally just said
been
that.
in a lot of movies lately.
Mads Mikkelsen.
He's in a movie.
I'm going to butcher this name. Amancio Ortega? Ortega? How would you pronounce that?
Yeah, that's how I would
Yeah,
say it,
yeah. So co-founder of Zara, $62.7 billion. And this is what's interesting to me about the United States, is that most of these massive companies that are well on the verge of ruling the world, most Americans have never heard of.
I don't have any idea what that is.
Never
Half
heard
of these I just hear it. I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe I've heard the name, but I did not know who it was. From first glance, I thought that was Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Bill Murray.
Slightly larger Hispanic Bill Murray.
yeah.
Carlos Slim Helu and family, Mexico, honorary chairman of America Movil, $64 billion.
For being an
The
honorary.
numbers,
not bad.
Bernard Arnault and family, France, chairman and CEO of LVMH, Moët Hennessy, Louis Vuitton.
Oh, I know Louis Vuitton.
Louis Vuitton, yeah.
I know.
76 billion. Warren Buffett, CEO, Berkshire Hathaway, $82.5 billion. Bill Gates, co-founder of Microsoft. Also younger than I thought he was. $96.5 billion. And the only person to ever exceed $100 billion is Jeff Bezos and family. CEO of Amazon.
I like how some of these are like, and family,
And
then
family.
earlier you get and here's the three individual ones where it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
if you
own their own billions.
exactly, it's like if you did that as a family, that'd be way higher up on this.
Yeah. Then you got like Jeff over here is the black sheep of the family. He's only a millionaire.
Yeah.
What a loser. How much did you earn this year, Jeff? $100 million? What a joke.
Get on our level, Jeff. Get on our
Get
level.
on our level. Get your act together, man. Bezos became the first person to top 100 billion on the Forbes list of billionaires in early 2018. His recently announced divorce has launched speculation, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, soon he's only
Who
going to be
cares?
worth $70 billion.
Oh, no.
I'm curious how much of that is. If I'm wondering whether or not it's straight up how much they are worth or how much they make, because
That's
some of
how
those
much they're
people,
worth.
like
That's
for
net worth.
example, Jeff
Yeah.
Bezos,
Right.
when it comes down to pretty selfish with his money. Bill
Oh,
Gates,
extremely, yeah, very generous.
like I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
like gives away like half his paychecks.
Yeah, he
and
gives
stuff
a decent
Yeah.
amount. Yeah,
to
he does a lot of
different-
charities and things.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if. So you're saying that list included the amount
it's their
that
net
they
worth.
give?
It's their net worth, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have like that in his back pocket. 131 billion. He's like, I got that in one
yeah.
single bill.
He keeps it on
It's
a
got him
preloaded
on it.
gift card.
I keep
Yeah.
it. He's like, but I only have it in an Amazon gift card.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually why Jeff Bezos is worth how much he's worth.
Because he's got that one
Yeah.
gift card.
He's got the gift card that he never uses.
Genius.
Genius. Start a gift card company, people.
Oh,
To something no one will ever buy, and then you make a ton of money until they want to cash it all out.
Sure,
and
yeah,
you're
yeah.
worth nothing.
The downside is, oh no, the gift card expired.
Yeah, oh no, I didn't read the fine print. Yeah, there's fine print under the fine print.
Yeah.
white font,
yes.
white ink.
Yes. If you do not email us your information and registration code, then the gift card is worth nothing. So on this show, you might find that we create a lot of memes, a lot of inside jokes.
Yes, we do.
And pyramid schemes.
Yep,
so
that's true.
And half of them
Yeah.
turn out to be T-shirts.
it's true.
That's just the thing.
Which is a pyramid scheme. Genius. All right, the world's most powerful people. This isn't just money, because you don't need to be wealthy to have power.
Yeah,
now,
that is
sometimes
true.
they do go hand in hand sometimes. The number one most powerful person in the world is, I'm going to ruin this name because I'm American, is Xi?
Yeah, Xi Jinping.
Xi Jinping. Okay. China. Okay. Is Chinese president, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. Yes. Single most powerful person in the world. The number two most powerful, we're not going to go through the whole list because there's a lot of people. Second most powerful person in the world is Vladimir Putin, Russia. And the third most powerful person in the world is Donald Trump, United States. Angela Merkel, Germany. Jeff Bezos,
Is higher
because of his money, is higher than the Pope. Yeah, and Bill Gates. How does he feel? How does Jeff Bezos feel about this list? But he's lower than Donald Trump, so...
But is he though?
Give it time.
This is my point about how I feel like maybe corporations secretly do run the world, is because
Yes, they do.
The top three on this list are actual political figures.
Yes.
You got President
Right.
China,
Which
People who
honestly,
make decisions.
I don't.
Yeah.
I feel like those three spots actually, in my personal opinion, should not be those individual names.
Well, see,
It's
that's the thing, because
leader of China, leader
well,
of
that's
Russia,
the thing,
and
because
leader
they
of
are
the States.
they are
Yes.
leaders of countries. However,
Right.
the countries themselves are also run by senates and senators
Yeah.
and other
Right, yeah,
committees
yeah.
and things like that. Those people are then influenced.
Members of
By-
the Senate. Sorry.
Treason, then.
Yes.
Are influenced by corporations.
Right.
Like, that's just
Yeah.
how the country,
Especially when you
countries
run a
themselves,
corporation.
exactly, are influenced by corporations.
Oh, hands
like
down.
Capitalism, 100%. That's just
Yeah.
how
Oh,
it
yeah.
works.
Release a new iPhone. Watch people go bonkers.
I mean,
Yeah.
China is literally built around like Bank of China and all these other corporations.
Oh,
that
absolutely.
Are in China.
That control
it's
the
just-
money.
That's what I'm saying. So,
Yes.
like, yes, these are the three most powerful political figures, but the actual government itself
Which is why when you get
Yeah.
to Jeff Bezos, it's probably more accurate.
probably
Yeah. He
should
honestly,
probably be
yeah,
number one.
I would.
That's
probably
when
say
it
higher,
becomes
yeah.
Yes.
okay. These are people that have power that were not in a position that the position has power.
Right, exactly.
Because
Yeah.
that is
Right,
the big
right,
thing.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
I bet if you looked at this list a couple years prior,
It would have been different,
Barack
yeah.
Obama,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
like
Yeah,
it would just
exactly.
be whoever the president,
Whoever
was
has
at
that,
the time.
whoever can call the shots. But I like your theory that, and I would firmly believe this. I think it's very plausible that people like Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin, are just figureheads.
Yes.
They're just pawns in somebody else's scheme. Probably Jeff Bezos's.
He's actually running both countries
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
separately.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
But neither of them know.
Neither of them know. And yeah, how did you say his name was? How did
Xi
you pronounce
Jinping.
it? Xi Jinping. Okay, thank you. So, and then we have Pope Francis, powerful because he's the figurehead of one of the world's largest religions.
I would put him a little higher because
would have
religion
too.
is a very
Yeah.
powerful.
I would
It
have
is
put him
extremely
fourth.
Belief is a very powerful system.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
I would have
yeah.
put him honestly beneath Donald Trump, because when it comes down to it,
You mean above Donald Trump?
no, honestly beneath. I
Beneath-
feel
like right below.
like right
Okay,
below,
I see what you mean.
because
I was
China,
like, he is beneath
Russia,
Donald
and
Trump.
United States, let's be honest, are the three biggest countries, biggest
Most powerful militaries.
most powerful
Yep.
in the world.
Yes.
But I feel Pope Francis could be higher because of the fact that
He's the
head of a
earthly
religion.
representation of Christ to Catholics.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
they
yeah.
aren't located in just one of those countries. They are throughout.
Right, yeah, there's
all
not
over the
like
world.
One
That's true.
Catholic
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly,
area,
because
yeah.
I mean, I hate
Yeah.
to say it, a way that I am picturing powerful people is, and this is going to sound kind of bad, if the people that they are in control of turned against the world, how would they stand up? So, for example,
So if
let's
the
say
Pope like
that you-
just ordered the Catholics,
Exactly.
assuming
No,
like
honestly,
to rise up.
Honestly, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because the fact
Absolutely.
that
Mhm.
the amount of them and how spread out they are could easily
Now, what about the Swift
overcome
Army?
in certain areas. What was that?
The Swift Army.
As in the Taylor Swift
Yes. What if they rose up? What if she
Yeah,
said,
cray.
army? Honestly,
Forte.
"Yes,
you never
exactly."
know. Like, but that being my point of like, there are so many Christians and Catholic that throughout the world that if they were to rise up, maybe they're not the overwhelming population, but they're overwhelming in those specific areas,
Sure.
like that kind
Yeah.
of thing.
So if
gotta link
Taylor
up.
Swift said, Xi Jinping broke my heart, everyone rise up.
China as a whole.
Exactly. But like, for example, in that regard,
Yeah.
most of her fans would be in the United States. Therefore, not as much power.
Or Japan.
If Jeff Bezos said it,
Is she big?
Yes.
A
If
lot
Japan, people would
more-
resist.
what?
If Jeff Bezos said, let's take over China, people would be like, no.
Actually, right
He's
now,
like, I call for all Prime memberships.
If you want,
rise
he's
up.
like, well, I mean, if you want to retain your Prime membership, then you must join. Oh man, I
it's
really
in the
like
contract.
He's like, not only will you get free shipping, free next day shipping, we'll
Yes.
give you a $5 gift card if you just rise up right now.
if you just
I hate to say though, in China,
click this
they would-
button to rise up.
Rise up, and then your gift card will be in the mail. Which
Oh.
doesn't make any sense. It's an internet site. Why would it be in the mail?
I hope you come back home to check your mail. All right.
But that's just my personal opinion when it comes to
man.
positions of power,
Right.
because there is power in dense areas, and then there's powers overwhelming.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Because, like, for
Oh, yeah.
example, in certain areas, Scientology would be the most powerful
Mormonism in Utah.
religion, but whereas
Yeah.
overall,
Yeah,
not
vegans
as
in
much, 'cause
Colorado.
there you go.
Yeah, no?
There you go.
Yeah.
Hikers.
Yeah.
We're full of them.
Vegans in Colorado. All the vegans rise
Taxi
up.
drivers
But
in
they're all
New York.
So tired from lack of protein.
Yes, there are. Number 7, again, Bill Gates. We know who he is.
Yep.
Number 8 is Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud.
Sure. Yep.
I'm actually going
Definitely.
to look up him real fast.
I believe he's the biggest oil
the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. Yes. Okay. Right. Oh, let's go back. We're going to do 2 more. Top 10. Most powerful people in the world.
What have you done?
Narendra Modi, India. And he is, for those of us who may not know, Prime Minister of India. Yeah.
Interesting. So
Like,
essentially,
what gives you power? I control the country that controls Bollywood.
It's pretty big.
That's pretty big.
Pretty big.
Yeah, Bollywood. I think there was a
Plus, they
movie
have a
actually
very
that just came
big
out.
Population.
Yes, they had a movie that just came out that actually topped Infinity War.
Really?
Yes,
I did not know
No,
that.
not Infinity War.
It was
Endgame.
actually
It
their
topped,
version of Endgame.
It topped Endgame worldwide.
Jeez, I
That's
want to
my
see
belief.
this movie.
Yeah. So I watched the trailer. It actually looked pretty good. I was
All right.
like, this looks
All
like
right.
a
We'll get up
top-notch
after the
film.
show.
And then number 10, Larry Page, the CEO, I believe, currently of Alphabet. Yeah, CEO of Alphabet. So those are the top 10 most powerful people in the world in terms of influence,
So
decision making.
excluding
There's like a handful
leader,
of politicians.
Yeah,
that's what's
excluding
scary.
the figureheads
That's
of
what I'm saying,
countries.
yeah.
There's
Yeah.
like 3 corporations:
Yeah,
Alphabet, Microsoft, Amazon.
Amazon. Yep. So
Catholicism.
They own the world.
and Catholicism. Yeah. That's scary.
For the record, I also wasn't aware that it was just Catholicism. I thought it was Christianity.
Just well,
No, technically, Pope Francis is the Pope.
That's
the
what
Pope
I'm
is the head
saying.
of
Catholicism.
Yeah, Catholicism.
Yeah, I thought it was
Yeah,
actually.
no.
Then you're starting a whole new debate
I don't
among
know.
Catholics and
Yeah.
Christians. They're like, "Are you really Christian?
Right,
Are you
or- well,
like?"
yeah,
I'm not religious at all, so
No.
Technically speaking,
They're-
while they do share a lot of similarities,
Yes.
they are separate religions.
Basically, it's Catholicism versus Protestantism.
Yes.
So
I will
Protestants
lie,
don't
every time I
believe-
talk to people, I'm like,
Yeah.
sorry, there are how many more branches of this thing?
Endless. It's endless. It's like mind-boggling how many
Right.
different like denominations you have in Christianity and Protestantism, which they knew was actually a risk when Protestantism became a thing.
Right.
They knew it was a risk because you get the Bible into the hands of the people, they're all going to interpret it in different ways.
Oh God, they're learning
So-
how to read.
They're learning how to read. All right, so this list is about Walmart specifically. So Walmart is the biggest retailer in the world,
Yes.
especially in the United States.
Yes.
I
believe
think if you there's
more than half the states in the country, the most prevalent employer is Walmart.
yes. I think if you combine, there's one statistic. If you combined just the parking lots of Walmart, it would cover a landmass the size of like Florida.
Oh wow.
Damn. So weirdly
Maybe I
shaped
think
That's
something like that.
It'd be funny
There's
if the parking lot was the
some
size of
state.
Walmart. Because imagine how big that super Walmart is, right? It's huge.
We should start a petition. We
should.
need
It's
that Walmart.
Canada.
Canada's the next
it's the
Walmart.
one
Ultimate Walmart.
Ultimate Walmart. Not Super
Alaska's the
Walmart.
parking lot, and Canada's the Walmart.
Jesus.
Oh, man.
Just saying.
All right, so a few
getting
facts
there.
about Walmart, one of the biggest companies in the world to have ever existed. It was founded by Sam Walton, who was almost fired from a JCPenney job.
That's hilarious.
As you do.
I love silly facts about creepy
Old people.
Walton once had to do a public hula dance because he lost a bet. I love what our CEO.
Why is that on the list of like things you didn't know about Walmart?
I don't know.
Well, because that was the
That
way
was
that
about
people
Walton.
were like, he can't be ruling the world. He's hula
He's
dancing.
a hula dancer. Yeah, that's his front. Now Walmarts are everywhere. It's hard to avoid shopping at Walmart. It's been reported that 90% of the population in the United States lives within 10 miles of a Walmart store.
I live less than a mile.
There's one literally down the road from me. I probably go there 5-6 times a week. Honestly,
Yeah,
just for little
It's convenient.
things.
It's convenient. It's cheap.
Yeah.
And for that remaining 10%, there's always online. And by 2017, the company noted that 95% of U.S. shoppers spent money in a Walmart. So I'm going to pause right here for a second, because when it comes to lists, or like the concept of somebody or a group of somebodies ruling the world, it is not as obvious as a group of people in robes standing around.
Right,
like,
yeah. When people are like, "Oh, this is a shadowy group that rules the world," they imagine it's like a dark room. Everybody's sitting around a table.
Exactly.
Yeah, like how many wars we starting today?
There's a
guys?
pentagram with candles.
Right,
Exactly.
yeah.
Like
No, which they got at Walmart.
Which I got at Walmart. The candles
But it's-
burn.
Guys, these are so cheap.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
It's like 5 for $1.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it smells like summer rain.
I think it's much more malevolent than that, because it does appear so benevolent.
Yes.
Oh, we're doing something good. We're giving people
Right.
jobs.
Right,
We're
right,
also
right.
making you depend on us for everything.
Literally everything. Choking out small businesses. Doing
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
Yep.
Right.
People don't see that as a bad thing.
They don't. No.
I mean, but that's just
I
how
mean,
it is nowadays.
generally today, if you want to rule the world, start a company that people can't live without.
Yeah.
Start a company
how
that
Zuckerberg
start
did
a company that other companies can't live without. And you just need to figure out what that is, get it off the ground, defeat your foes, your enemies, and
I'm
Make it sound like you have a champion.
yeah.
This
why
is
not?
our CEO. This is our vice president. This is our champion for all
Yes, yeah,
gladiatorial combat.
yeah, which happens all the time. What we don't realize is that there's a special Walmart that's not actually a Walmart.
It's actually
it's an
gladiatorial
arena.
arena. That would be
Yes.
awesome. How do you think you get that job? I could become a gladiator.
Yeah.
well, you got to
What were you
defeat
gonna
the
say?
one that's currently holding the position.
All right, good to know.
All right.
I'm
Go
surprised
ahead.
though
Go
that
ahead.
on those lists there were no. I'm sure a couple years ago it would have been different, but any of like the biggest leaders in tobacco,
Oh, sure.
like
that was
like the
yeah.
different industries. I mean, yes, the society
Like
is
Philip Morris
slowly
and-
going down in tobacco and like that kind of use.
It is.
but
Yeah,
in the
sales are like
past-
plummeting.
Yeah, but like in the past, it was
Awesome.
like
Oh, yeah, they were real big.
It was
Yeah.
huge. It was
It was
huge.
Well, you had my brother and I were just talking about this. He said you can watch old videos of doctors recommending smoking.
Yeah.
Like
And you go
should
even
smoke.
further back, and they're
Right.
like, "Hey, have this meth; it keeps you awake."
Yeah, Or drink a nice.
back problem here. So
Yeah.
have some cocaine.
And now they just go, "All
drink a
right,
nice
well,
glass of cocaine.
now
I
it's
mean
Adderall."
Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola? Cocaine.
Coca-Cola.
Same? Oh well. What?
Drink this. It's got cocaine in it.
Exactly.
good
It's
for
good
you.
for you.
It's got what plants need.
Also, send your 3-year-old to bed with a pistol under their pillow.
I mean, I still do that.
Oh yeah, why not? Any good
Also,
dad?
teething
Any
children,
good dad?
give
Yeah.
them rum, just
Uh,
alcohol.
alcohol, rub it on the gums. Yeah. All right. So
I
and the
still do
work
that too.
walking around like daycares, like here have a little.
I just meant with me, not with
Oh, okay.
actual children. I mean, I'm walking around just rubbing
That
my
is the
alcohol on
Creepiest.
my gun.
I'm just picturing now Andy walking
He
through
threw it.
and just going, "Some alcohol for
I just
you."
come into like
some
a
rum
daycare.
for
I don't
you.
have kids, just for
Yeah,
clear. So
yeah.
I come into a daycare with just a bottle of whiskey. Hey, everybody.
Anybody teething? Nobody's teething.
Nobody.
Okay, I'll come back.
Anyone want a shot?
Yeah.
I'll go to the
One
next
for
one.
you, one for me.
Can you give me
One
like
for
10
you.
minutes
yeah.
before you call the cops?
How was your day,
Have a
Andy?
nice
Well, I
leeway.
got banned from about 12 places. All right. So number 4 for Walmart. And the workforce is huge to match. The company reports that it employs 2.2 million associates around the world.
And only 2 of those are cashiers.
It's true. I know. It's awful.
And
Target
only
is
one of
worse.
them-
Target is worse.
Yeah.
That means if every Walmart employee were to move to the same location, the resulting city would be about the same size as Houston, Texas.
Damn.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
Soon there will be the city of Walmart.
Give it time, man.
Walmart.
Give it time.
Topia. I don't know.
Walmart.
Waltopia. The
Walmart.
giant picture of
I don't know.
Walton in the middle of what is it?
Hula
with
dancing.
waltz?
It is.
That's the
Like-
secret. That's the secret.
If
To,
it-
yeah,
but it's
yeah,
only when
like
you
in
walk-
bronze.
It's one of those
Yeah.
sensor ones, though. So when you walk by, it starts going.
Does
do,
it?
do, 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 do.
Yeah, yeah. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Okay. Yeah, exactly. I think the key to ruling the world is just change your name to Walt something.
It's true.
So, number 5, robots are joining Walmart's ranks. This isn't sci-fi. Walmart is using robots to do tasks like washing floors, checking shelf stock. Not here. I haven't seen this. And scanning, or maybe it's after no, they don't close. Or scanning for price errors by next February, whenever this is written. I think. Oh, yeah, no, 2019. Where was I? By next February, it expects to have autonomous floor scrubbers in 1,860 of its more than 4,700 U.S. stores. So, robots stealing your jobs. CNN reports Walmart will also have robots that scan shelf inventory at 350 stores. So, I can imagine walking into a Walmart and just be like, "What's up?" And he's like, "What's up?" Just scanning. This robot.
I mean, let's
just
be honest.
scanning-
At least
just
the robots
scanning
would know
things,
where
yeah.
I could find something.
You know,
That's true.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm really looking forward to when robots actually take over certain things is that eventually it will then lead to Blade Runner being an actual job.
It's true.
Where you get to hunt down rogue robots.
Right.
Yeah.
Rogue
See, I'm-
replicants.
yeah, exactly.
I'm more picturing the robots take over, and then the robots get lazy and hire humans to do robot jobs.
That is brilliant.
secretly
I love
Slowly
it.
but surely, they
R2D2.
start getting
Yeah.
worried. What if the humans take
What
over?
if the humans
It's a
take our
complete
jobs?
reversal.
Did you hear what they said? They sound so real.
They sound so real. They sound
That would
just
be
like us.
hilarious.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
I can't wait for the weird switch.
Yeah, they're just like us. They're just made of goop.
You go through
Instead
the
of
history
wires
books
and
well, back in 2086, they had the Great Switcheroo.
great. Of course, you would call it that.
Well, obviously,
Of course.
or the
not-
switching.
The switching.
That's a
I
good
like
one
it. I
too,
like
yeah.
it. There's even a Walmart museum. The Walmart Museum is housed in Walton's 5 and Dime in Bentonville, Arkansas, the first store to bear Sam Walton's name. That's cool. The largest location in the United States is in New York. And it's huge, and is huge. While the chain first became popular catering to rural areas, and now the largest store is in the city of Albany, New York. The location at Crossgates Commons measures 260,000 square feet,
Damn.
spread out across 2 floors.
I got lost in the Walmart for 5 days. Luckily, I found my way into the produce section,
Yeah,
so I
I
survived.
did all
Do you
right.
guys want to go on that mile jog? Let's go to Walmart.
It's like, where am I? I'm stuck in the gluten-free section. No.
Just kill me.
Yeah, eat the food. It's not food.
Where's the sporting goods section so I can kill myself?
You might be. This is actually one of the more funny, hilarious facts about Walmart for me. You might be shopping at a Walmart-owned store even if you don't know it.
Are we in one right now?
We are. You might be living in a Walmart house and not know it.
Honestly, you
All
could
right.
probably be living in a neighborhood that Walmart owns.
Oh yeah. We put it in a neighborhood so people would shop at this Walmart.
Well, actually, I was
Genius.
thinking
That's
more
pretty cost
they could
effective.
decide
Yeah.
their own county tax.
It's true.
That's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Why aren't you ruling the world?
Seriously. Or is he?
Or is he? He's like, well, I just bought Walmart, so
I've been made.
1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion. Yes, it's working. Okay. While the company is known for selling basics at rock bottom prices, Walmart has purchased other retailers that have the opposite reputation, including ModCloth. These are so trendy. I've never heard of them. Including
high-end trendy boutiques and stuff.
yes, ModCloth, Jet Black, Jet.com, Bonobos, Voodoo, and Moose Jaw.
Never heard of any of those.
Because I bought my clothes at Walmart. The move is about appealing to the younger, more affluent generation of consumers that flocks to brands like Bonobos and ModCloth. So they did it.
Not one of those people.
So they did it so that Walmart, as a shell corporation, not a shell corporation, but it's like a parent corporation, can pocket the money that the young people are spending, but not at Walmart. It's like, we want their money, so we're going to buy the companies they're already shopping at.
Right, yeah.
Right.
I
Which
mean,
is
it makes
very
sense.
smart.
Yeah.
All right.
Plus, it also allows them to do a self competition
true.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I mean, if you went to Voodoo, it would be this much, but at Walmart, it's this
Yeah.
much. And little do you know, they purposefully did that, and it's the exact same thing.
Yeah. I like this little tip here. This is not about Walmart ruling the world. This is about us just being empowered shoppers. According to tip here, and spending our money at Walmart. The last digit of the price can tell you some info about how good a deal you're getting. Items with prices ending in 7 are the original price. Items with prices ending in 5 are first markdown. Items with prices ending in 1 are final markdown. Yeah. That's how that's how the
So if it's
that's how the markdowns.
$39.97, that's the original price.
Yes.
If it's $39.95, that's the first markdown
So
price.
wait a little longer.
$39.
So just wait till it ends in a 1.
It ain't going anywhere else. That's as low as it's going to
as
get.
low as it's going to go.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I have a challenge
kinda
for you
cool.
Twitch viewers. I have a challenge. Then I hope Walmart doesn't
Yell at us.
destroy me.
You're going to
no.
get Walmart assassins.
Yes.
Are going to show up at your
So-
house.
Hey, it gives you a chance
Yeah.
to defeat them. Just
true.
with
That's
smiles on
yeah.
their vests. That's so creepy.
They were in like the mask. That would be creepy. Yeah,
That'd be super creepy. I have a challenge. Somebody rule the world. Take over Walmart. Buy Walmart.
Okay.
By starting a business using supplies that you bought at Walmart.
Genius.
They'll never see it coming.
And mark it down by just a couple more
By
cents.
a little bit. Okay, the store's most popular items vary by region.
Sure.
Nobody
Actually,
cares.
you would charge more and go, support your local businesses.
This non-conspiracy item, which I find really odd, its storm supplies are on point. Not every item is popular year-round. The company tricks its shoppers' buying habits and adjusts accordingly. So what does it stock up on before a big storm? Strawberry Pop-Tarts. The New York Times reports apparently people buy 7 times the amount of Pop-Tarts if bad weather is rolling in.
100% can see it.
100% never had that urge.
I don't buy Pop-Tarts.
Well, for one, I prefer the cinnamon sugar.
Sure.
But
Well,
I
thank you, Dan.
I could fully see
I'm
that
eating for
because
Christmas.
of how easy they are to eat.
Yeah,
They are
I mean,
delicious.
they can last
They are
for-
delicious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they can last for a very long time. You get a lot in individual packs, and you can like divvy up and ration a lot easier.
I mean, they
Yeah.
would be great
Yeah.
for the apocalypse.
It would be great for the apocalypse.
Twinkies,
Yeah.
Pop-Tarts.
Funny little story. I went to go buy some Pop-Tarts because I thought my daughter would like them. We're walking down the cereal aisle at Walmart.
Okay.
Okay, so I have done this. Whoa. And she like looks at me. She goes, "You passed the chocolate cereal." She like couldn't wrap her mind around the fact that
She's like, Dad, what are you doing?
that mom and dad would skip the chocolate cereal. What does that say about us?
Yeah, seriously, you're terrible parents.
She's like, "Wait, you skipped." She's like, "I can't wrap my mind around this. What did you just do?" All right. 10 facts about the scary dominance of Amazon. Now it gets juicy. Like an apple I bought at Walmart. All right. Top 10. Bezos bought the Washington Post, Jeff Bezos, for just his own personal propaganda purposes as a secret potential world ruler would.
Sure.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, how else would you do it? Buy a
I mean, the other guy,
source
yeah.
that people rely on and
Yes.
trust, and then
Perfect
just
sense.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Put
control
in
them.
Amazon ads everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every review in the newspaper is from an Amazon item. So his mentality is better, I think, than the guy who like quit his job and then bought the Clippers.
Right.
You know, he's like, I'm going to buy a company today. Propaganda, newspaper, one of the world's biggest newspapers. Amazon just bought out Whole Foods. That was, last year?
Yep.
So Bezos could control retail grocery as well.
Yeah.
We're going to skip ahead here. Amazon employs well over 500,000 people and is growing rapidly. It will very likely overtake Walmart.
Oh,
in
hands
terms
down.
I could see that.
in terms of
Hands down.
employees. Jeff Bezos is trying to change the way you shop for groceries and retail. We already kind of covered that. Amazon, despite edging out so many competitors, doesn't make much money. That's
but they-
because Jeff
terms
Bezos takes it all.
In terms of what? What does he mean by that?
Amazon is moving forward with a truly frightening business strategy that could end up as more than one kind of disaster and is risky for a lot of people in a lot of ways. The strategy is something Amazon has been going forward with since the beginning, and it involves their plan to continue to attempt to dominate all aspects of the market and never settle on one core competency or even stop expanding. Bezos constantly reinvests heavily in the business, including updating infrastructure and buying other businesses to add to his rapidly expanding portfolio. So basically what he's doing is he's spending all the profit
Right.
and reinvesting it so that the actual like profit margin is
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Isn't
that's just good business. You take your
yes,
your
but
profits and
when you
reinvest them.
compare the profits that other companies make that they don't
I see.
necessarily spend,
Right, I see.
Pretty sure
Okay.
that's actually how he avoids taxes.
probably.
I could see that. Yeah.
all
Because
tax
technically it does not make money.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, is buying the Washington Post a tax write-off? Yeah. Okay.
Well, are you going to use it for work? Well, I'm going to convince everyone Amazon's great. Tax write-off.
I'm
Great.
putting an Amazon ad right in there.
Yeah.
Like, well, yeah, cool.
It expands. So the business plan means that Amazon almost never makes any real significant earnings because almost all net profits are spent on some new buyout or other crazy scheme that Bezos is working on to take over the world. They said it. To put into perspective just how much of his net profit Bezos puts into further expansion, Walmart recently made more net profit in 1 week than Amazon did in an entire quarter of earnings.
Oh, wow. It legitimately does say to take over the world.
Yes. However, Walmart also did not heavily increase their holdings and continues to gain market share in every single sector they have entered into. If Amazon were to start falling, they would take a lot with them, and their fall would be very ugly considering how little extra cash on hand they have and how many properties they own. However, if they can maintain momentum, they will be hard to stop. So it's a all
It's
or
a
nothing
dangerous scheme, but if
Yes.
it works,
it works very
it'll work.
well.
Yeah.
Good. But
Yeah,
at what
yeah.
point do you stop?
right, yeah.
That's the thing. Eventually, you're going
Once
to come
you
back
rule
down.
the world.
Once you rule
No,
it.
even then, no.
Where do I? Mars. Have we sent people to Mars yet? Yes. Okay, rule that. So,
Put the Amazon logo.
yeah, let's put the Amazon logo.
Drones delivering into Mars yet?
Yes.
It's
One
like,
day delivery.
fly
Everyone's like,
Amazon. Yeah. One day delivery to Mars.
Yes. So he's invented warp drive at this point.
That'd be awesome. Thank you, Jeff Bezos.
Amazon is raising the price of Prime, as they've done many times.
Yeah, they've done that,
But
yeah.
people will still pay for it.
Yep.
Pay for it.
Amazon's employment practices are horrific and probably won't get any better soon, especially as you expand ruling the world. As Amazon becomes a bigger and bigger employer, the fairness of its employment practices becomes much more important to closely watch and police. Unfortunately, that's generally true for most companies.
Yes.
So if you work for like a little mom and pop shop, it's very relaxed. It's a ton of fun. Like it's not stressful. at
Right,
all.
yeah.
You work for a major corporation. There are standards for
Literally everything. Yeah.
literally everything. And you got time to lean, you got time to clean. It's that kind of mentality.
hate
Yes, I
that
hate it.
saying,
I
by
do
the
too. Which I've heard way too many times in my
I have too.
life.
Oh, yeah.
So it's that kind of
And
mentality.
it's always
so
from
it becomes
the
much
the
more
boss
rigid.
that never does
That doesn't
anything.
do
That doesn't do anything,
He's
yeah.
like, well, I'm going to sit in my office for the next 12 hours and do nothing.
It's like, well, what are
Yeah.
you doing today? I'm walking around telling people
What
if
to
you got
do.
time to lean, you got time to
got
clean. That's my job.
I don't see the
That's
problem.
what I do.
I always pretended to clean things.
I didn't even pretend.
Unfortunately, most of Amazon's employees work at their warehouse, and the conditions are not known for being very good. In many big name companies, you hear about some kind of special culture where the company looks out for its workers, but Amazon has never really cared much about that kind of rapport. There's a lot more information there. We don't have time.
Here's the problem with that, though. It's like, and I've said this before in the past, it's like, especially if you're a lower, like you're not a CEO, you're not like some big name in the company, like there will always be more employees.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's why
There's
they
always
don't
gonna be
have to
people who
treat-
need a job.
I can't believe
Yeah,
they,
there's
they
always
treat
people
us
that
like
need
this.
a
Yeah,
job.
because if you don't want the job, they'll
You're
find
you're
somebody
replaceable.
Else. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But they're not just going to like fire one of their like chairmen
Right. Exactly.
because that's a much more specialized
Yes.
position.
But if you're just
they
working
need
in a
that
warehouse,
person.
you might be very good at your job. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, they don't care.
But they don't care.
Yeah.
They will find somebody
There's
else. who can do
1,000
the
other
job.
people, who can be just as good at that job. Bezos has pushed Amazon to work its way into all aspects of your daily life.
That is true.
Jeff Bezos has slowly turned Amazon into a ridiculous behemoth and is showing no signs of slowing down anytime soon. One of his latest ideas is Amazon's Alexa, which has been out for a few years now, which now comes in many different forms, but all fit the same central programming and theme. They are smart devices that connect everything in your house. Google's doing this. Whoa.
I have Google.
Uh,
I blame my wife.
you have Google?
We do.
Google
We have
Home?
Google Chrome, Google something.
So Google's
Whatever
Google
they're-
taking,
they're-
taking over your house.
Google
yeah.
Home. Yeah, Google Home.
Google Home.
Yeah.
So every company's doing this. Apple's working on this. So the big corporations are working on literally invading your home. And
Yeah,
we
I-
are okay with this.
I wasn't. My wife purchased
No,
it
it's-
while I wasn't around.
Actually, that's
Yeah.
the
And
thing.
set it up.
Is a lot of the
Yeah.
time it
Say
doesn't
hello to our
matter
new
if you're
housemate.
okay with it.
Right.
Like that's the thing is it's they've reached the point where it's like, oh, you're not okay with it. Well, then you don't get to use it.
Right.
You
Pretty
don't
much.
have the option.
Right.
It's like those products where it's like, by opening the product, you agree to terms and conditions. You're
Yeah.
like, but I don't. It's not even here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's like someone posed this question a while ago, and I can't remember where I heard it. It was, imagine going back 25, 30 years and asking somebody, would you wear a device or have a device on you that tracks your movement, who you talk to, where you shop, your purchases? That tracks your conversations, that tracks basically your entire lifestyle, your sleep patterns, heart rate, all of it.
Your bank
And
information.
then your bank information, and then sends all of that to a company,
Yeah.
to like a retailer. Most people would say no. You'd have to be out of your mind to willingly let a company track that
Well,
information.
not even just that. You're also agreeing to this company giving your information to
to
these
other companies.
advertisers.
Exactly. But that is exactly what we do with our smartphones, our smartwatches, our devices in our home that we talk to that are constantly listening. And we're okay with it because we've been slowly introduced to it.
And it's
if you're
incredibly convenient.
It's
It makes
extremely
just
convenient,
life more
yes.
convenient. I, for the longest time, refused to get a smartphone.
Right. I actually know people who are like big YouTubers who do not carry smartphones.
Yeah. But, I mean, it makes life more convenient.
For the record,
does.
Benny's
When
not
you
one of
can-
those. He's got 3 cell phones.
Yeah. When
it's
you
true.
can like post something to Instagram, why would you not want that?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I mean, and realistically, like shopping online is so much more convenient. That's why we
Well,
do
you
it,
just pull
like-
out your phone and
yeah, and it's like I mean, I think I ordered 2 things off Amazon this weekend.
I sometimes
Yeah.
am
Yeah,
like
like-
sitting at a light and I'm like, oh crap, I need to order this. Bye.
Yeah, I mean,
Cool.
it's just that's what it boils down to. And then people are like, when people complain about they're invading our privacy and stuff like that, it's because we invited them in.
Yes.
It's not an invasion when you hold open the door and go,
No.
come on.
They're like vampires.
Yeah,
You
like,
invite them
I mean,
in, and then
realistically,
you have no power over them. And then they never leave. Well, it's tough to give it
they're
up.
like college
I
buddies.
was talking to some people about buying a smartwatch, and I said, I still like the idea of being able to wear a smartwatch and just being able to take it off. And being able to disconnect, which is why like wearable tech, like something over my eyes, that's too far
Like
for me.
Google Glass.
Google Glass, that's too much. Literally like Neuralink, like lacing my brain
Yeah.
with a connection
It's
to the
gonna
internet.
happen.
It's going to happen. I don't like it. I like the idea that if I want to, I can just completely disconnect. They're just devices for me.
Right.
And then the people I were talking to said, actually, that's not how you're going to feel at all. Once you have that smartwatch and you're used to it, you're going to feel naked without it.
Yep.
You're going to feel disconnected without it. It's going to be weird. And I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
I don't like the sound of that.
There's a lot of stuff like
we
that.
get
Yeah.
very used to it, and it's just you
We
don't
do.
even think about it.
And it doesn't even
Yeah.
always have to be like smartwatches. I mean, when it comes down to it, cars.
Cars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. Mhm.
Because we've
Yes.
gotten used to having cars.
Well, we've built our civilization around cars.
Exactly.
You
Around
know,
cars,
our
around travel and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like if cell phones just in general, not even smartphones.
Right.
You need a cell phone.
Yep.
If
You
you,
do.
don't have one, you can't like apply for things because
I mean,
they always need a phone number.
try starting a business with the same practices as that somebody had in like 1940.
Yeah,
It wouldn't go out. It would
Yeah.
fail. It would fail.
Only
Like, well, I'm going to
if
put
you're
an
in a hipster
advertisement.
neighborhood would that succeed.
it's true.
Yes.
Then
yes.
you're
But they're all
trendy
secretly
AF.
using smartphones.
They've got smart typewriters, autocorrect. It goes,
Yeah.
click.
Click.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I don't use smartphones except for this app called Newspaper. Yeah. All right. So number 2, Amazon is going full circle and creating their own retail bookstore chain, because once you've ruled the world and you've destroyed every major book retailer, you open a bookstore, right?
Makes sense to me.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, some people have worried that Amazon would change things forever and bring all shopping, even food shopping, to where it was all simply online. These fears have been somewhat understandable as more and more brick and mortar stores, even chains, have slowly but surely gone the way of Amazon's boot heel. However, the truth is that while a lot of brick and mortar stores are suffering, it is not necessarily because of online shopping itself, but because, as we mentioned earlier, Amazon is willing to forego profit for growth and continues to expand into every single sector of the economy. One of the biggest warriors still duking it out with Amazon is Barnes & Noble, the last major physical book retailer. I remember when Borders, not too long ago, went under, and that was sad. That was a really great place to hang out.
A lot of books are for cheap though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the number one most creepy thing about Jeff Bezos, Bezos practically has a monopoly on online sales, and no one seems to be able to challenge him.
Yeah.
While it isn't a real monopoly enforced by anything and thus would be hard to bust with antitrust laws, even though it should, Amazon makes up 43.5% of all online sales currently. eBay, Apple, and Walmart combined can barely come close to a third of the online selling power of Amazon. That is scary.
Yeah.
That these other like monsters of companies still can't even come close to what Amazon is doing.
Yeah. It's actually funny. This one made me think, I'm surprised no one on the higher ups of YouTube is on the powerful list. Because if you think about it, those kind of people can manipulate what you're able to watch.
True, yeah.
Almost control the masses by always giving you this specific information on this topic instead of these other ones. Because, I mean, I don't know of anyone that has not gone, well, I looked up how to do it on YouTube.
Right, yeah.
Like
Right.
everyone's done it
Right.
at least once. And if you have someone high up in that kind of business and they go, well, whenever someone searches, I know that they went against this, but I'll use it anyway, like anti-vax. If let's say they were in the anti-vaxxers group, they could easily have adjusted all search algorithms to only show the anti-vax information that proves that it's true. They control the masses by making people think that that's the case. So I'm very surprised that they were not on that list of powerful people. Because, I mean, even if they did not have a ton of money, they do have a lot of influence.
Right.
I would say, honestly, like, whoever rules the internet rules the world these
That
days,
too.
honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, the rulers of the internet. And like I said, they're not all meeting together in a weird office with candles lit everywhere.
Yeah.
But the rulers of the internet,
It's a
I would say.
cyber office, actually.
Actually, that's true. They Skype in. They probably like actually rule the world at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. So what is? Oh yeah, let's go to Disney real fast. Let's move on from.
and Disney,
We've
yeah.
talked about Walmart. Yeah, let's not forget the
Disney definitely
the
rules the
cute
world.
Mickey Mouse. Yeah. Company is owned by Disney. I'm just going to blast through this. ABC, ESPN, Touchstone Pictures, Marvel, Lucasfilm, A&E, the History Channel, Lifetime Pixar, Hollywood Records, Vice Media, Core Publishing, and now Fox.
Yep.
Now, while that may not sound like a lot, the number of intellectual properties they now own because of all those acquisitions is
ridiculous.
frightening.
Mind-boggling.
It is mind-boggling, yeah. Because what you have is you have one company that fully 100% understands how to manipulate young people and to get them to think and do pretty much whatever they want.
And not just young people at the impressionable ages.
Right. Exactly. Oh, I didn't mean to hit play on that. So yeah, at impressionable ages, because what they've done is they've even incorporated psychology into their animation. So if you look at like Snow White and the early princesses, they looked like normal women.
True.
When you jump into Disney's Renaissance, which started with The Little Mermaid, the animation style changed to the so that Ariel's facial features, her body features, resembled that of like a baby or a toddler.
Okay.
Big eyes, big head. Proportionally, they're much closer to sweet little babies or toddlers than they were to actual grown women.
Yeah.
Which is what they were depicted as early.
Right.
So what this does for the average viewer is it makes you more sympathetic. It makes you feel more for the character. And so this is a part of the reason why their princesses are so popular is because we have this innate trust with these characters, especially with our children. They're watching these princesses who are essentially have the proportions of toddlers, and they can't quite. They're not conscious, not on a conscious level. Are they attaching themselves to these characters? So Disney has incorporated that psychology, which is another reason actually why the movie Avatar did so well, is because they incorporated the same psychology. You look at humans, generally we're kind of beady-eyed, small things. And then you contrast the like very militaristic humans with the big-eyed, like kind of cartoony looking Na'vi, and you get that same kind of psychology. It's like the sympathy psychology. Well, how can I not sympathize with the Na'vi? Because look at their big sad eyes, and they look like puppy dogs, and you just feel so bad for them, and they're so in tune with nature.
Right.
Hippies.
So that was one of Disney's strategies, was to make their characters generally just more likable and more like children. So they understand psychology. Obviously they understand business. I mean, they just bought Fox, which The Simpsons predicted.
It's true.
Yes,
Simpsons
they did.
predicted
They did.
everything. including
predict
Trump
everything.
as the president.
Yep.
So we'll cover a couple more things. So Disney owns a lot. We're just going to say that, and it's actually it's bothersome because you walk into like a place like Walmart, and half their toys are Disney properties.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Soon it'll be
so,
Disney's Walmart.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Disney will buy Walmart, and then be like, "We're coming for you, Jeff
They're
Bezos."
going to change it. It's going to be Waltmart.
Whoa, yeah. So I actually looked up a list of everything Disney owns.
It's a
and
long ass list.
We
I don't
cannot
think we have a
cover all of
time
this.
left.
No. They
We
own a lot of
can't.
stuff.
It keeps going,
You're
and
not
it's
at the end
still going.
We're halfway
done. So
I
Disney
thought they said milk. I thought one of those words was milk.
owns probably
Disney owns milk.
Disney
guys.
owns milk. All right.
That's why I have to,
we
I drink off-brand dairy beverage.
off-brand dairy beverage. Yeah.
my gosh.
It's not real milk because Disney owns that.
We're not allowed to call it.
So have you guys heard of the Google? So we're going to talk about Google real fast, and then we're going to move on to the largest company to ever grace the earth.
All right, I'm going to let you do that. All the tea I have drank this morning is like hitting me.
I see.
And I won't
Okay,
lie.
okay.
I got to step aside just for
No worries,
Do
man.
what, Dan? Keep going. I'm with you.
Google Selfish Ledger. Have you heard of this?
I have not.
Okay. So there was a leaked video a couple of years ago now that basically this was a video that was made for Google employees.
Okay.
Somebody leaked it.
So it was
And
an
what-
internal.
It was an internal video.
Okay.
And so the Selfish Ledger is basically Google's plan to manipulate behavior based on ads, based on app design, based on everything that you experience with your smartphone.
Okay.
It even uses reminders. It uses notifications. It uses like, where should I eat today? Kind of like search engine like assistance.
Yeah.
You know, when it recommends things, using recommendations, sales, things
Well,
like
yeah.
that.
I mean, if you
So-
bring up Google Maps, it has a list of recommended.
It does.
Recommended for you.
Exactly.
based off
So
of your search
basically, the Selfish Ledger is Google's plan to
over.
manipulate human behavior by understanding human behavior. So
Okay.
it actually keeps a ledger of your preferences, your behavior, of everything you do.
Oh, that's
and
not
then
good.
from that, it tailors your smartphone experience to manipulate you.
Right.
And that was the big controversy. Now, some people will see that as just good business practices. Like, well, yeah, of course, you want to motivate. You know, there's a reason why you find certain colors in restaurants. It's
Yeah, I mean, realistically.
or certain music, or the temperature's low, or whatever it is. There was a study done a long time ago that grocery stores play certain music because it influences what you want to buy, and this is no different than that. But this takes your personal information, which you're giving Google.
Right.
May I just remind you of that? You're giving Google this information
See,
to manipulate you.
This is what I'm saying though, because
So
you know,
we're not surprised.
Well, that's the thing. I'm not surprised. When I said that, I feel like we're definitely heavily moving into that time frame of science fiction when mega corporations take over the world. It's not their fault. It's ours as consumers.
Right.
As I mean, how often do you Google something and then people are surprised when Google records and tracks what you have searched for,
And then shows you
and
an
then
ad
tries
for
to
it.
show you an ad, or next time you go into Amazon, it's like, well,
Yep.
look at this
Yep.
thing that you just recently Googled. You can buy it now. Like it's not surprising to me, and for people to be shocked by it and like, oh, how could these businesses do that? It's like, that's just business.
That's
like
business.
that's how it
Yeah.
works.
Well, and
Like-
you're volunteering your information.
Indeed.
What you're doing, what you're doing,
Yes.
yeah.
Really, really be.
So what? Yeah.
But I mean, like on like Facebook, people are like, I can't believe Facebook is taking all this information that you gave them.
When you said I
Well,
agree and
yeah.
didn't read
and then
it,
you put in like where you grew up, what college you went to,
Right.
what are your hobbies, what are your interests,
and then you're like, I think I'll make my profile public.
yeah, like I
Yeah.
mean, at this point, no one should be shocked that someone is recording. Yes, it is an invasion of privacy, but it's at the same time, it is basically you opening the curtains to your house and then strutting around naked and then being pissed off that the neighbors are staring at you.
Yeah. But you also have
Realistic.
signs
Well-
that say I consent.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
See, that's the problem though with a lot of those kind of things, because it's also a situation of there's a lot of things you can't do if you can't log in via Facebook.
And I understand that.
Like that's the thing.
that's
Is,
the
or
thing,
through
though.
Google.
or through Google.
But I mean,
or,
it's just the society we live in now.
It
You
is.
can't
Exactly.
blame the corporations
Right.
because we as a people, as consumers, got to this point.
Well,
true,
yeah,
but
yeah,
there-
and it's-
I think the problem is the fact that there's no option. Like
Oh,
that's
I
the
mean,
thing.
but
Like
there
'cause
is an option. You
there
just
are
don't do it.
options. They're
But
less
that's the
convenient. They're
problem
less
is
convenient.
If you, it's one of those ones where it's you could decide to not do it, but now you've excluded yourself from all these things because they are required to have
Right.
Facebook. And the other unfortunate thing is, even if you delete your Facebook, they
It's still
still
there.
own you.
Yeah, it's still
essentially.
there.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
you
Nothing goes
can't-
away on the internet.
No.
It's
No,
there.
it doesn't.
And well, no, like even in the terms and conditions,
Yeah,
once
no,
it's on
yeah.
there, it's theirs.
It's
essentially.
well, yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's
And
It's true.
that's my biggest problem is like, because I don't want to have Facebook. I don't. But I have to for either things for work, things for family, like stuff like that. Like Facebook is the only thing to really do that
Right.
with.
And we've also made a society where, unfortunately, if you want to run a business, you have to be on social
Yeah,
media.
you have
Yeah.
to.
You have to. People just expect it. And if you're not, they think it's weird.
Right.
Yeah.
But we've done that. That was us.
Yeah, I
that
mean,
wasn't
well,
them.
that's what I'm saying.
They
Like,
offered a
yeah.
service. We accepted it.
We
did that.
as consumers, as people, have gotten here. It's
Yeah.
not like we weren't herded this
Right.
way.
Actually, but
Right.
there's a question right there.
Were we herded?
Were
this way?
we? I mean, we
it's possible.
literally just read that Walmart essentially manipulates its customers into buying certain things at certain points in the year during storms.
So
like
does Google.
they've somehow
Google
exactly.
manipulates
And
too.
So
Yeah,
that's
I
the
mean,
thing is, for all we know, we have been herded in this direction because they were like, all right, so we want their information to give it to advertisers. Let's make it so everyone has to have Facebook in order to use our product. Therefore, we're herding people into that direction because even if you didn't want it, but like your wife was like, no, you have to get it. You've now been herded in that direction because of someone
Right.
else. And like,
I mean, but realistically, I still could say no.
you could, but what are you missing out on?
Well, I mean, that's your
Like,
decision
Right. Actually,
as a
that's
consumer,
true.
as a person.
That's true. And
But
I
see-
could flat out go live in a cabin,
okay.
no social media, no
Right.
internet access, and that is my personal choice.
doesn't sound terrible.
It's obviously a lot less convenient,
Yes.
than being able
Yeah.
to pick up the phone and Google
Right.
something. But I mean, I can make that choice
Yes. Until they make it illegal.
until they make it illegal.
Yes. In which place?
Exactly.
But
Like,
I mean, but
you'll
at
be
this
arrested.
point, like you can, yes, it will be
But
less
in
convenient.
order
You won't get
to-
access to certain things.
Exactly, but like in
You'll
order
just be
to
that weird
get a
hermit.
place like that, you would have to give people your information in order to perhaps get the permit to get the thing, to get the lumber to make
Well,
your
you
house.
could, but you could do it the hard way. Is what I'm saying.
But you can't because like everything is owned by someone. So if you wanted to get property in this area, you would have to go through someone to get property in that area.
but not Google.
How else are those people going to search your information to do a background check to make sure that you are capable of buying this? You have to have a good credit score. Credit score relies on having certain internet access for your purchases to get recorded. Like everything, regardless of what you do.
Just go live in an old mine somewhere. Find
Like,
an abandoned mine.
I'm just saying. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
but that's my point. Is we did get to this week because it is more convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, convenient and
Right.
because even if you aren't someone that wants to do it, the mass majority did it. Therefore,
yeah.
you no longer have the decision.
The mass majority have determined the
The state
Well,
of the world.
the state
Either
of the
mass
world. Yeah,
majority
yeah, yeah.
or the people running the world.
Yes. Yes. Which
Because that's the thing is we're looking at this of the consumers do have our right to decide what we do.
Right.
We
Right.
think we do.
right. Well,
Like that's-
yeah, exactly. And
Do
so
we
I
have free will? It becomes the question, really.
well,
I still maintain that we do,
we do.
and I still maintain that
We
we got
do.
to this point because, as a society, we wanted to.
Right. A part of it is also just being aware of how they're manipulating you.
Hmm.
Like I know when I see an ad for something I really want, it's because I searched for it earlier.
Oh yeah.
Are
yeah.
you talking
I
near
have
your
the
phone?
I have the free will to choose.
Stupid phone.
Or I have the free
Betraying
will to choose whether or not I click on it, whether or not I
Yeah.
buy it, whether or not I even pay attention to it. Like I still have that free will. I have the free will to choose
That you do
how
for
much
that
time
one.
I spend on my phone. It's, I'm going to text my wife. I'm going to call somebody. But besides that, I have the choice to sit there all day and stare at my phone or not.
True. Well,
That
yes
is
and
on
no.
That is on me.
It depends
I do.
on what you have to do with your life, though.
Well,
Because think about you
have to
think
is
you
also
don't have to be there.
Have to
but
is relative too. I mean,
let me ask you this: like, you don't want to look at your phone. We'll say throughout one day you do not
most
want to
days I
touch
really
your
don't.
phone. You do not want to have anything to do with the internet or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
You have that choice. But let's say during that period of time, you're also waiting for someone to contact you about a certain thing.
they
Well,
can
you
send
have to
a
have your phone
pigeon.
on in order for them to be able to contact you.
Yeah.
Because there also
Well, that's-
becomes what if something were to happen? You always want to be able to be contacted in case an emergency happens.
Well, no, I understand that, but the level at which you let these corporations control you is still your decision ultimately, whether good or bad.
I see. That's where
what
I'm
saying-
sitting
no,
at the.
What I'm saying
little-
is, what I'm with him because whether good or bad, whether convenient or not, it is still ultimately your decision. You could be that weirdo who like goes and lives in an old mine. You could do that.
Abandoned military silo.
But that sounds great. Most people won't choose that.
But see, that's the problem though. Is this is all assuming that you have like. How would you get food in that case?
That's not the question.
But
the question is, can you do it? Yes. Should you do it?
And
that's
see,
a different.
that's
a
the
different
thing.
question. Yeah.
But that's the problem: is can you do it? Sure. Will you be able to live? No.
It depends on
It depends on your version of living.
reversion. Yeah.
Well, how would you get food?
yeah.
Grow your own.
Honestly, I'll just
In a
Steal it.
yeah steal it. I mean, there
then
are.
you would rely on other
the
people
thing
to
is-
be able
the
to
thing
get
is,
these
there are
things.
people all over the world today that live without any connection to the modern world.
True.
And
But they also rely on everyone else around
Yes,
them.
they do. So I'll just go live with them.
And they have to use
I'm gonna
something.
be that,
like
that-
that's the
that-
thing
that
is
strange
whether
American
or not
who goes
you
to live with an Amazon tribe.
But
Yeah.
see, that's the thing is whether or not you individually
Amazon.
are, you also contact or rely on people that do need that access. Like that's the thing is
Well,
you
yeah,
do have the
to an
choice
extent.
to do a lot of things,
Yes.
but in the way society is, in the way like being able to live is, you do need to have a society. Like that's the thing.
Yeah. Well, I understand
If you don't,
that. I understand that. What we're talking about is just the connection to these big companies like Amazon,
Okay.
and Walmart,
okay.
and Google. Is that yes, you could choose to completely separate yourself from them, but I think we're actually getting off topic now.
I don't.
true,
Well,
yeah,
that's,
yeah.
But
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
no, that like that's why I legit think that it's actually not really off topic because these people do run the world because a lot of things that you want to do with your life
was I?
require doing things that to some extent.
And the point that
Go
Andy's
back to
trying to
those.
make is it's because we've chosen that.
See,
We have chosen it. We have chosen it. None of these companies would have gotten anywhere unless we invested in it.
Because
unless
okay,
but see-
when Bill Gates or Apple or whoever came out
Okay.
with the first computer, everyone was like, "Oh my god, it's so convenient!
Yes.
It's only 18 tons." No, I'm not.
Yeah.
As a joke,
yeah.
yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Like
They're getting so
the
small.
First time the smartphone came out,
Yeah.
oh, I can do everything on the internet from my
Yeah.
phone.
True.
We as consumers
Chose
went,
it.
"Oh my god, this is great!"
And that was
Boom,
in a
boom, boom, boom,
time.
boom,
That
boom.
was in a time when you didn't need the smartphone.
Exactly.
And
You
see,
chose the
have gotten
smartphone.
here.
see,
Yes.
and that's
We were like, "Fire! You can cook shit now."
well, because let me.
But we
think
don't
of
need
it
to
this
cook
way.
it.
But it's good.
But you can.
I'll use
Yeah.
this in the comparison of
Yeah.
pre-ordering video games.
Okay.
You have the option to not support that, correct?
Which I don't.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right.
But some people do, therefore they're still going to do it, whether or
Okay.
not you chose to do it or not.
Yeah.
So therefore your choice, honestly, at the end of the day, doesn't matter.
No. I don't
Ev-
disagree. The point that he's trying to make is we as a society as a whole, as a human
As a whole,
race.
not as an individual.
And not as individuals,
see,
as a human
majority.
race. As
Not
a
as a
majority.
whole.
Saying, as
Yes.
a
Not as a whole.
majority
As a
has-
majority.
As a
has
majority,
head that way.
have given the power of our lives over to these companies.
But see, and what I'm saying
But
is
we don't
it's
realize
not
we're doing
society as a whole. It's a society as a majority.
Right.
And people
Yeah.
that are in the minority did not choose to do that.
Right.
Well, that's just how
Well,
society works.
That's just how
Exactly.
society
Yeah,
works.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is you at the end of the day, you may think you have control, but you can decide to do whatever you want they're going to do something different. Now you have
Well,
slowly
at this
been
point,
forced
yes,
into
at this point.
their way of doing things.
I still maintain that you can completely disconnect. It would be wildly inconvenient,
Yes, and dangerous.
And dangerous.
You'd probably die.
most likely.
Yes.
But you can.
But
do
you
it.
can do it. Yes,
All right.
absolutely. Moving on.
That's my opinion. That's your opinion.
Moving
We'll
on.
go.
We think that this problem with major corporations, major companies taking over the world,
Yes.
is new. It is not. Not
It's
new.
not at all.
No.
Not
by
by
any stretch.
not by any stretch. What I'm talking about is just one example. The Dutch East India Company, established in the early 17th century, would be worth $7.9 trillion today.
I mean, they were taking over whole countries.
They were taking
at
over
some
countries. They
point.
had their own military.
Yeah,
a company.
they were. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
It wasn't a
It would,
country. This was a
rivaled
company, yes.
the British Empire.
Yes, exactly.
To the point where people actually thought, like, if you look, they're like, oh yeah, I remember when the British Empire, whatever, ruled this. Like, it was actually the East India Trading Company.
Yeah.
Like, who all happened usually to be British, but and like it
Exactly,
wasn't actually
yeah.
a British Empire.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's, and again, even back then, that was because people chose to give them that kind of power.
Sure.
They didn't start with some odd million soldiers. They didn't, or I think it was like 200,000 or something like that. Today we look at something like that and we're like, oh wow, how could a company become that powerful? It's like, well, they already have. They just don't have foot soldiers.
Yeah.
They
Yet.
have ads.
Soon Amazon will have its
They
own
require.
militia.
They
They
don't
do.
have.
They've got a ton of drones.
That's true, yeah.
They don't have foot soldiers. They require login information, or they require you to agree to these terms and conditions
Yeah.
that you never read.
Yeah, I mean,
You
it's
just
essentially the same
agree to
idea.
it.
Instead of
Yeah.
a guy showing up with a rifle, it's just like,
Right.
oh, did you want to log into that? Nah.
You got to hit agree. Exactly. And yeah, so anyway, I just wanted to make the point that, to quote Battlestar Galactica, all of this has happened before.
All happen again.
It would all happen again. So yeah, who really rules the world? This guy right here. Actually, he chose to rule the world.
Chose it.
That was his choice. And you gave it to him.
Yeah, stupid people.
And like he would assert, you didn't even know you were doing it. You were compelled and you didn't even realize it
I
was
do have a
happening.
very kind and trusting face.
Today, the most powerful company would be Saudi Aramco, the world's largest company, was worth $4.1 trillion in 2010.
Oh, wow.
Just a little over half of what the Dutch East India Company was worth.
Just mind-boggling.
Yeah, even today,
Yeah.
nothing has rivaled it. So ultimately, who rules the world? Lots of people. And do they have power over us? Sure.
Yeah, like I said,
mean-
I don't think there's one. I mean, there is a shadowy group
Yeah.
that actually secretly controls all
Controls
of these
Jeff
various
Bezos.
organizations. But if I had to say who actually rules the world today, it's companies.
Companies.
Yeah.
Occasionally a political leader.
Yeah.
But even then, like, where did,
Who might be influenced by companies?
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's
I mean, that's,
realistically how it works.
that's a
Yeah.
big thing
Yeah.
with politics. Is
it's
companies
influenced by the people who
paying
pay. Yeah.
Someday we're going to see the president get on television and say, my fellow Americans, this is brought to you by Amazon.
Yeah. Today, the state of the address is
Yes, brought to you by
Everything will be 20%
Walmart.
off.
use the code USA at checkout.
Yes. Or the president will, in the middle of his speech, say, and I open a portal.
God, how horrible would it be if Ben ruled the planet?
If Ben ruled the
Oh
planet.
my God.
Oh my god.
G Fuel everywhere.
It's mandatory.
It's got mandatory. It's got electrolytes, but plants crave. So that pretty much comes to the end of the list of things I wanted to look at and really just assert this idea that the world is being controlled. Our food, our entertainment, everything we consume, everything we look at, we got from one of these companies.
4 companies. Apparently.
4 companies.
Yeah.
Well,
Even if you look
actually
at
all owned by Disney.
Even if you look at a company like Luxottica, they own Pearl Vision, they own Target Optical, they own pretty much. If you're buying glasses, there's a good chance you're getting them through Luxottica.
Yeah.
If you got an eye exam, there's a good chance that person is technically on the payroll of Luxottica. And so we're running into this place where fewer and fewer companies own more and more and more.
If you ever see one of those charts where it goes into what the individual big companies own, it's always insane.
Oh, it's scary. Yeah, it's
and the
very
number of
scary.
ones you think you're competing with, but at the end of the day,
It actually turns
well,
out they're
and
the
it's
same. Well, the best part is when one company owns two different things and they make one more expensive than the other, even though they're roughly made the same way.
Yep.
But now it creates that like, well, these are the high end.
It's
ones.
like Volkswagen and Audi.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. It's
These
the
are the
exact
high
same.
end ones. So this
We discovered that with organic butter. It's all the same butter.
That is a weird one to compare.
I don't think it's strange. I think
organic butter.
organic butter. So we bought we had one stick of organic butter left, and we're like, oh, we need more butter. So we bought another one from a different store.
Okay.
It was their version of organic butter. You open the pack, same wrapping,
exact same thing.
exact same thing.
That's funny.
Literally the only thing they changed. And we did this, I think it's like King Soopers, Safeway, Walmart. It's all the same organic butter.
You got a lot of free time on your hands.
Yes, we do.
You also get a lot of organic butter.
Yeah, we do. I prefer it.
How much do you use?
Yes, a lot. It's my morning snack. It's my protein bar. Okay.
He's coming one day and he's eating a stick of butter.
Yeah.
Gary, what are you doing? Don't worry, it's organic.
Don't worry, it's organic.
Also, by drinking my non-branded dairy drink.
Non-branded dairy drink. You milked the cow yourself, didn't you? Yes, I did.
No, I didn't milk it because it's owned by Disney.
It's owned by Disney. Wait,
It had
Right?
the ears and everything.
Disney or Walmart? That doesn't matter anymore.
Let's be honest. When Disney does buy the milk
Yeah.
industry, they'll genetically engineer cows to have the Mickey Mouse ears.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh, they will. Yeah, they'll be cute. It'll be an
And
attraction.
instead of
Yeah, yeah,
spots, they're all the Mickey Mouse head.
Yeah. Oh man, what a
Lord.
scary world we're living in. All right, so final thoughts on who's actually ruling the world?
Corporation.
Corporations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the end of the day, it always
How does
comes
that
back
make
to
you feel?
corporations.
You know what rules the world? Consumerism.
Consumerism always has.
Yeah, pretty much.
How does that make me feel?
Yeah, how does it make you feel?
It doesn't matter.
Safe.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
My
Like, what are
opinion
you gonna
does
do?
not matter to
Right,
any
what are you
of
gonna
the
do?
fact
Yeah,
that
I
they-
mean, realistically, at this point, I it makes things convenient. So
I'm comfortable.
yeah,
Well,
I mean,
see, convenient, but I also consider a lot of it's mandatory. I mean, when it comes down to it, if you want to live a normal life,
Yeah.
it's mandatory.
Right. Well, this was a scary episode of the Conspiracy Cast.
This is brought to you by Amazon and Disney.
Yes. I bought this laptop on Amazon. I bought this on Amazon.
bought this watch on Amazon.
Yeah, well, we didn't even talk about Starbucks, so
Oh God!
Yeah.
How were they not on the top list?
I'm a little surprised. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Considering,
Maybe they're like top 20.
I really hope it
Considering-
goes down. It's got Dr. Evil.
yeah, Doctor. Considering, the two most traded commodities in the world are oil and coffee.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah. All right. Well, let us know what you think in the comment section below. Is there anything else we missed? I'm sure there is because
Probably.
we only had an hour or something. Who really runs the world? And what?
I think we're at an hour and 10
Yeah,
minutes ish.
it's about average actually now.
Yeah, generally.
So let us know what you think in the comment section below. Are you going to rebel? Are you going to rise up because Taylor Swift asked you to?
Or Jeff Bezos.
Or Jeff Bezos?
If he knocks off an extra $5
Nobody
off
would
Amazon
care.
Prime.
Jeff Bezos would just pay Taylor Swift
That's true.
to start the rise up.
I can see it.
Thank you for watching this episode of Conspiracy Cast. You can find Dan.
Dan T Producer on Twitter and Instagram, or Dan T Streamer on Twitch.
All right. You can find me on YouTube at Film Circuit and Twitter at Film Circuit and Instagram at Northward Films. It's too much. I'm slowly going to take over the world with Film Circuit. I said it out loud. Yeah.
I'm Fry am the Andy on Instagram. Glorp, everybody.
Glorp. Thank you.
Glor.